Today I'm doing the UEFI BIOS showcase of a JOI Classmate 10. To enter the UEFI BIOS, you need to just spam the delete button as the computer boots up. You have four main windows: main window, security window, boot window, and save and exit window. Under main, you have BIOS information, BIOS version, EC version, build date and time, serial number, access level, CPU configuration, memory information, total memory, system date and time. OS selection is between Windows and Linux, surprisingly. And you also have a SATA drive information, but there is none installed. Moving over to the security tab, password description. If only the administrator password is set, then this only limits access to setup and is only asked for when entering setup. If only the user's password is set, then this is a power on password and must be entered to boot or enter setup. In setup, the user will have administrator rights. The password length must be in the following range between 3 and 20. So you can set up an administrator password, you can set up a user password. And there's also secure boot configuration, secure boot enable or disable, as well as whether it's active or not active, secure boot mode between standard and custom, and you can also grayed out currently is restore factory keys, reset to setup mode, and key management. Going back, under boot, you have no less than 9 boot options between hard disk drive, Windows Boot Manager, CD DVD, USB hard disk, USB CD DVD, USB key, USB floppy, USB LAN, as well as UEFI AP, UEFI built-in EFI shell, and lastly network. If you go all the way down to the bottom, there is UEFI hard disk drive, BIOS priorities, where you can currently I'm only allowed to select Windows Boot Manager, as well as UEFI application boot priorities, which currently is only option is built-in EFI shell. Okay, going back, there's save exit where you have save options, save changes and reset, discard changes and reset, save changes, discard changes, restore defaults, and as well as you can boot override between the Windows Boot Manager, the built-in EFI shell, and you can also launch an EFI shell from a file system device. So that is the UEFI BIOS on the JOI Classmate 10.